Hello YouTube and welcome back. It's me, Fruit Guru. I hope you're all taking care of yourselves, and as always, I hope you're enjoying the grind. Today I'm starting a little mini-series here. It's going to be called Counting Cards, and we're going to be taking a look at all the cards in Ragnarok Labyrinth. Originally I wanted to do this, kind of one video covering everything really quickly, but I figured it was actually going to take so much time to go through each card and I'd be doing it a disservice. So I've decided instead I'm going to just release an episode per card. They're going to be fairly short, maybe 10 minutes tops each, and we're going to talk about what the card does, what it's good for, what it's bad for, strengths and weaknesses, you know, what we can use it for, and how the mechanics of the card actually work. So yeah, today we're going to actually start off with Ifrit, the 5-star version, not Infinite Ifrit. And a little disclaimer here, I just realized before recording this that I have been pronouncing this wrong my entire life. I always thought it was Ifrit, and I don't know why, but I just thought I'd check the pronunciation before I recorded this, and sure enough I was wrong. So I didn't want anyone in the comments to kind of point out that I was being a smooth brain, and I think I prevented that. I am still a smooth brain, but you know, at least I'm pronouncing it right, if nothing else. So yeah, we'll jump right in and we'll take a look at the card. So you can have a look here. We have 3 different bars. The first is magic attack. Now this is a flat base magic attack and not percentile. If this was percentile, it would obviously be a lot nicer. 9 times out of 10 that's going to probably benefit you more. However, I mean, that would be very, very greedy to want that, right? I mean, this card, if it had percentage magic attack up, it would be absolutely bonkers broken, no doubt about it. It would just be too OP. So I'm glad that we actually get the base magic attack. It's pretty good compromise. I'll take it. It's still very useful. We do get cast Fire Pillar on attack fire and cast Earthquake on basic attack. So I'm going to talk about these two by themselves. You may or may not know, I'm going to put my hand up actually, I didn't until very recently, that these numbers on these bars under each cast skill are actually a reference to their proc rate. I don't know what I thought they were, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. So, you know, if you didn't know that, there you go. That's all there is to it. So you can see right now Fire Pillar has a 2.5% chance to proc, and Earthquake has a pretty beefy 25% chance to proc, which is really, really nice. Although it does have its drawbacks, which we'll talk about in a second. So with that said, I'm going to just jump into the Fire Pillar mod here, and it's important to note the wording on this. So requires any weapon, which means you can get away with having this proc with a Zenny knife. However, it's dealing fire damage will have a chance to blast Fire Pillar. So this isn't going to proc from your auto attack unless your auto attack is actually dealing fire damage. So if you have something like Napalm that's going to kind of add an element like a fire kind of effect to your attack, you're going to be able to proc it then, but you're not going to be able to just hit with anything and this is going to pop up. So for example, I run a clown. When I first got this card, I didn't actually understand the how it worked, to be perfectly honest with you. And yeah, I was kind of looking at the screen and I couldn't see my Fire Pillar proccing, and it's because it has such a low chance to actually proc in the first place. But as well, it only procs from fire damage. So because my fire bolts from my Kazaa and my fire wall don't constantly go off, they cycle with other things, and based with the low cast chance of this, I just wasn't seeing it, and I didn't know if it wasn't working. I couldn't figure it out until I actually went off and did a bit of research. So that kind of explains that. So however, I mean, there are some builds in this game, I'm sure you've seen Fire Pillar and stuff, the whiz builds, I mean, they just absolutely melt stuff, and they hit with so much fire all the time that's where you're going to see the value from this. It's not going to be absolutely game breaking, but it is going to be a pretty juicy steroid that's going to really enhance damage. You can see that the cooldown on this is really, really low. It's 0.7, and keep in mind, I have no cooldown stuff on my gear right now. So, I mean, the chance is low, but this can, in theory, just proc, depending on how fast you're actually dealing fire damage, which is really, really nice. The modifier for it is 30% times 10 hits, and that's not too bad. I mean, it's not the biggest damage, but again, if you're able to proc this a lot, that's going to add up quite substantially, and it's going to be pretty nice. So the second thing I'm going to talk about is the Earthquake modifier. And as I mentioned before, this has quite a big chance to proc. You can see my card is only level 27, so I can actually get these rates up. Now, these don't go up with every level that you grind the card, but they do go up over time at certain stop points, and you can get this up a little bit more. I've seen this go up to easily over 35%, but the big drawback here is the cooldown. So yeah, right now I can proc this in one in every 4 attacks, let's say, but I attack a lot more than 4 times in 13 seconds, so I'm kind of bottlenecked by that. Now, this isn't the be-all and end-all, because on most builds that you're going to use this card, you're going to be investing in cooldown stat anyway, so, you know, you're going to be able to get this down sufficiently, and you're going to be able to actually get a lot more procs than it has right here, right now. And it does do a little bit of AoE. The damage, I mean, you can see here it's 70% times 3. It's not huge. It's not like going to be a big nuke. And to be honest with you, at first it was a little lackluster. I was kind of like, you know, it's nice to have, but it's not really like changing the game for me. I have other skills that hit twice as hard, nearly 3 times as hard. But you got to factor in that this is triggered off your auto attack, so you know it's free to cast. It's also pretty reliable at going off, and you're going to be seeing this when you kind of build around this skill specific or this mechanic. Like, I mean, a good few builds kind of do have kind of, I call it cast on hit. It's a Path of Exile reference, but it basically means when you hit something, you know, you have a chance to cast. So any of these cast on hit builds, they essentially just go ham with this kind of stuff, and you generally have like a few things in the rotation as well. So when you're kind of fully stacked in your end game, you're just a walking nuke, and this is just another explosion in your army. So it's quite nice. It does do a little bit of physical damage as well. This isn't anything to write home about. I mean, I suppose in some cases this is going to be a bit nice. Like I get this on my clown. I do a bit of physical damage with my autos that I'm using to proc. So I get a little bit of extra oomph there, but it's nothing massive. So don't think you can use this on anything. It's not the case. The guy I actually bought this from, Anti-Star, big shout out to you, by the way. This guy sold me this card at a massive discount. Took pity on me, I guess, and it was just really sound. So yeah, thank you. And yeah, he originally was playing Lord Knight when he found this, and he did put it on. And now, of course, it was flashy, you know. And he goes into PvP if you just have this kind of in a spare slot somewhere, you know. it's nice, you know. They're looking at you doing all these explosions, but it wasn't doing much. I mean, we're talking 5,000 damage earthquakes here, so pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, if you want to just kind of show off, you can do that, I guess. It does have a stun range on it, which is alright, kind of icing on the cake, nothing major at 10%. And yeah, that's basically the card. So if you use, I mean, it's really good. If you get the chance to pick one of these up cheap and it's suitable for your build, absolutely go for it. Is it going to basically, out of the box, when you're mid-tier levels, just carry you through everything? No, it's not. It's not. The damage, even like I'm at beach now and stuff, the damage from my earthquake doesn't really even dent the mobs, the trash mobs on level 1. It does a little bit of chunk, but nothing to write home about. It's not going to be like if you're basically in a situation where, you know, you can trans your weapon, or you can get the Ifrit, or you try trans your weapon a couple of times with most weapons, or you can buy this card, trans the weapon. If you get a chance to get this card down the line, absolutely pick it up. It's going to be a nice little steroid, but it's not going to be game changing. It is regarded as one of the best cards out there, and it's one of the most in demand cards, but it's not going to be like this super build enabling, I've now gone Super Saiyan and I can wholly smash everything. That's not the case. It's good, but it's not absolutely amazing, okay? I might come back and I might change that when I'm fully built and I have max cooldown and all my stuff is a little bit better, but right now, where most of you are and where I am in the game, you know, we're getting there, but we're not quite there yet. So don't spend millions and millions of zenny trying to get this when you can invest it in other places that are going to give you a more immediate reward and carry you a little bit further. So that's all I have to say. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any comments, If you have any questions, by all means shoot me a message in the comments down there. If you do like this and you want to see more, by all means hit the subscribe button. Always appreciated. And thanks to everybody who's watching my stuff so far. It's actually really nice. I'm getting some nice interaction. I'm getting some good questions. And as well, sometimes people call me out and they go, actually, this is the case with that. And I like that too. I like learning. So if you do think I'm kind of getting something wrong, or I'm not quite completely getting something, tell me. I'm not going to take offense. I always like constructive criticism. So yeah, with that said and done, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to try and get a few of these out relatively quickly because they're short enough to make. Thank you for watching. Fruit Guru out. Happy farming. Bye.